Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome. We have another one of our unbagging ceremonies. Unbagging again because yes, I've been raiding the X-Display stuff. Let's have a see what we've got today. It's a BSA and it's the BSA Defiant Bullpup regulated. Nice looking gun, I think you'll agree. Got a touch of weight to it, but it's nice, it's well put together. I do like it. I'm just going to get the cradle up here so we can get it so everybody can see it. If I just pull that back, that should do it. Lovely. Right, the BSA Defiant, regulated, made in Birmingham, England. That's about 10 miles up the road from me. I'm not a Brummie, by the way. I'm a black country kid, so let's not confuse that. Okay, well, what can we see straight away? Solid rubber butt pad. We have a 232 bar tank on there. I think this is the 177 version. I think it's good for about 100 shots. The scope that I've put to it, as you know, these have been X-Display ones. I've not pulled them straight out the box. Obviously they've been put off the shelf, and I've stuck my own scopes on there. I've used an optics on this 3B9B42, which seems to work really well with the gun, to be fair. It's got BSA's own silencer on. The length of the gun with silencer attached is 31 inches or 79 centimetres. It's got a rather large trigger guard here that may be big enough for a nice wintertime hunter with a glove on. That's something to look out for, by the way, if you're going to be hunting in the winter. You want a rather large trigger guard that will fit your fat finger and even fatter finger with a big woolly glove on, or any type of padded glove to keep your hands warm in the cold weather. The magazine system on this, standard BSA 10 shot in 177 or 22. It's just a standard system that's always worked with BSA, and it is really reliable. To be fair, it is a good system the BSA use with their magazines, even though it's a spring-loaded one. And spring-loaded ones are known to fail now and again. This one seems to be more of a solidly made item. It really does with their magazine system. Now, fitting a scope onto here, it's a 11 to 12 dovetail rail, so you will be okay with most scopes on there, which will usually come already self-supplied with a set of 11 to 12 dovetail mounts. You won't be looking for a Picatinny mount to add to this to make it any more money. As I said, I'm sure it came from the factory supplied with the silencer. If not, and that was an extra, please excuse me, when I fetched this off the shelf at Solware, it had got the silencer fitted, so I take it it's a standard fitted item. The gun itself, you can feel, is quite solid. It's we've bought a few bullpup style guns in for this next Battle League session. This is probably the heaviest one of the bunch. Now, you can look at that in two ways. Is it heavy due to, you know, the quality that it's made with, or have they used steel over aluminium parts? I'm not quite sure. I can tell you straight away, you can look through the end of this where you've got your filler port here, and you can see there's a lot of brass being used. Now, BSA over the years do like to use a fair bit of brass, and I think it's because it's a lot stronger metal item than the steel and everything else. And also I think it's better because, especially on the filler port end, you'll notice with a couple of the Turkish guns and some of the others, sometimes you get a burr inside there and it can rip your rubber sealing ring on your probe. Brass is a lot more smoother, and I think it stops that happening. I think there's no chance of a burr with brass, and it makes it a lot easier. So, good idea by BSA. It is a little bit heavier and probably a little bit more expensive, to be fair, but brass is probably the better metal to use, I think, on the filler port end. Now, made in Birmingham. If you're anything like me and remember the 70s with Austin Rover cars, you will obviously think that Birmingham, not really known for quality. But BSA over the years have been known for quality, and even though BSA has been going now for so many years and probably changed owners quite a few times over the years, they have kept to their roots of Birmingham, and to be fair, they're well loved still. A lot of people still love BSA stuff. I know there'll be quite a few people out there now who watch the channel who do love a BSA gun, and you can understand why. They are quality. This one I'm hoping does really well in its test and review, and we can give it a fair old shout. The stock, lovely rubber polymer. It's not plastic, it's proper, it feels rubberized. The grip is fantastic. There's stippling underneath the forearm here and lovely in the hand grip, so there's plenty of grip there if you should be using this in bad weather. The weight, not always a bad thing. People do prefer a gun with a bit of weight because they're more stable. Obviously a lighter gun has got a little habit of flicking around, and when it's got a bit of weight, and it makes it a little bit more stable, and people do prefer that, so the weight's not really a massive put off. I would have thought this scoped up and ready to go probably about 7.5 pounds in weight. I would have guessed that. I've not weighed it with the scope on, but I would have guessed about 7.5 to 8 pounds in weight. And to be quite honest with you, that's quite standard with most guns. They're around that sort of mark. You're not far off. That's usually about a standard weight, so it's not too bad, even though this is a bullpup. Shooting wise, well, from what I've shot with it so far, and obviously I've just picked up a random pellet to get it tuned into its scope, ready for its pellet test. That's all I do. The few shots I've took with it seems quite nice. There was a few little jitters about, and you know, a few little moves away, but that could be due to the pellet that I've been using doesn't really suit it that well, and we'll find one that does over time. But I can't tell you much about the shooting. As I say, I've just used about 10 pellets just to get the scope tuned in, ready for when it goes in for its pellet test, and that's all I've really done with it so far. But I'm looking forward to using this. We've got some really class guns coming up. We've now got our Krall Empire XS, which is now working fine and is shooting lovely now. It's had a little bit of work done to it, and that's there and working well. We've got this Defiant so far. This is looking good. We've got that Viroc HW100. We've also got the Wolf the Rain. 4 very nice bullpup guns so far. I don't know if I'll bring another 2 bullpups. In order to make the variety a bit more, I need 2 more guns to make up a 6-gun league. I don't know whether I'll bring rifles in now just to mix it up, or another couple of bullpups to keep more bullpup. I'll see what I can do, but no plans at the minute to do. I've got nothing in the pipeline at the minute. I've got to take a look around and see what I can get. But yeah, this is a BSA Defiant. Looking forward to using it. Lovely gun. This cocking arm, the biathlon style cocking arm, is lovely to use as well. So yeah, I'm looking for great things from this gun. I hope it doesn't let us down, but we'll find out in the next video, which will be that pellet test. Let's have a see which pellet suits this gun. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye now. Forgot to add, of course this is a BSA or a Gamma. Comes with 1 magazine only. Now most companies now will put you 2 magazines in. My little gripe with BSA and Gamma is I think it's quite tight just putting 1 magazine in. Please, please, please. These magazines now at the minute are about £30 odd. That's if you get them on the cheap from the likes of Rams Bottoms and that. I'd rather, I think, see the price put onto the gun with that 2nd magazine in than with just 1 mag. I think you do need 2 mags, but again, it's a BSA Gamma thing. They've always gone along with just supplying the 1 magazine. How you feel about that at home? I think it's a little tight. I don't know how you feel about it, but yeah, 1 magazine, that's all that comes with it. And I forgot to tell you about it, it's just a 1 magazine, but then again, BSA and Gamma, it always is. Thank you for just holding on for the few extra seconds. See you very soon in the next one. Bye bye.